right, good morning, good morning. We are officially beginning our Transform Westside Summit, so it would be awesome if you would come on in. Please take a seat. We are officially broadcasting live as well. I'm John Ahmann. I'm the President and CEO of the Westside Future Fund, and very grateful to be hosting this Transform Westside Summit this morning. Seen so many familiar faces. Thank you, everyone, for being here this morning. We always like to start our Transform Westside Summit for those that are new, to make sure we especially welcome those that are first-time Transform Westside Summit attenders. So if you're a new person, and if you'd raise your hand so we can acknowledge you, know that you're new, raise your hand high. Thank you for being here. All right. So I know many of y'all are very familiar with our program, but those that are new, one, our bulletin, which contains lots of information about the summit, other happenings on the west side. There's a QR code that you can hit over by the tables to get our bulletin. So please do that. Our program this morning, I'm going to speak for a few more minutes, but then we always start our Transform Westside Summits with a devotion led by a member of the community. So we'll be doing that in a moment. We'll next do self-introductions to help build community. And then we got a really exciting program this morning, Connected on the West Side, building pathways to parks, jobs, and opportunity without displacement with the Atlanta Beltline, Inc. and the Atlanta Beltline Partnership. And so we're really excited. I'll talk more about that in a second. And then we always, after the panel has facilitated discussion, we have Q&A from the audience and end at 9 o'clock as well. So we got a great program this morning. And one of the things we wanted to share is a recent event that we sponsored, Ride for the West Side 2025. So if you were at Ride for the West Side, I'd love for you to raise your hand. All right, Ride for the West Side, thank you. So this is where we had over 500 participants. We had an 11-mile West Side bike run that included the Beltline. We had a timed 5K Peachtree qualifier. And then we also had a Heritage Walk, which was awesome. I actually did the Heritage Walk. And if you did the Heritage Walk, we had so many great, the bands from the local Booker T. Washington Cultural Schools were out there cheering us on. So it was a great event. All the proceeds help support our Home on the West Side program. So we appreciate everyone that participated. in Ride for the West Side. And yeah, and I think next we're going to show a recap video. All right, so great. We're going to show a short video that'll recap Ride for the West Side.
I think this is just an amazing day for our communities. What makes Ride for the West Side different and unique to view into history, you know, the history of our city, the really cultural backbone that Atlanta is known for.
It's a lot of fun. You see a lot of great history. You're going to learn stuff about our city you may not know. You have choices. You have a choice of doing a bike race. You have a choice of doing a 5K heritage walk, or you can do, you know, a 5K run.
This is the only walk and ride that I'll actually do. So it's familiar to me. I'm from this side of town. And to see the bones that's in this area always remind me of really good days of growing up in this neighborhood and remembering what it was at its prime.
You cannot talk about Atlanta's history and not even mention the West Side. It is a critical, significant, and sacred part of Atlanta's history.
It was really about giving back to the community. My community pours into me. Like, I wouldn't have got the opportunity if it was not for my art teacher. This is the first shirt I've ever designed. I love to be involved in the community, and I felt really proud of seeing my design on the shirt.
Raising Expectations moved over here in 2004, and we've remained here. It's an honor to be in a community that has been filled with so many civil rights heroes that have been a part of really changing not just Atlanta, not just the South, but really the world.
We're about the community first. We're about residents, partners, donors, supporters, everything.
Community is made better by working together and really digging deep and supporting with honor and integrity the families who live here.
All right, thank you. And thank you to you saw our presenting sponsor, Chick-fil-A, and also, as always, thank you to Chick-fil-A for our breakfast this morning. And what I really appreciate about the Ride for the West Side is, you know, that activation grounded in the history of the West Side and walking through the neighborhoods, but really, at the end of the day, really building that community. And so thank you for all that participated. We'll be doing it again next year. We also want to make sure, especially if you're new too, we have a monthly e-newsletter. So this is the QR code to subscribe to our newsletter, so please do so. And if you have things you want us to lift up as part of our monthly newsletter, please let us know that as well. And next I want to give up, so our Home on the West Side program, which we're very proud of, which is such a critical part of our restoration without displacement. So our Home on the West Side program, we've bought up a lot of real estate, especially in English Avenue, Vine City. In the process of redeveloping that as high quality, affordable. We have an anti-displacement tax fund for legacy homeowners. And recent fact we just saw, many of those legacy homeowners, that's 2017 and before, who've in our program, we have over 130 participating residents. They have seen an average appreciation in their home of $250,000. And so that means the collective wealth building is somewhere north of $10 million. And they're paying taxes at the same rate that they did in 2017, which has enabled them to stay in that home and have that appreciation that they can enjoy. But as part of the Home on the West Side, we have multifamily, but we especially want to talk about because we have homes for sale. And Miss Tamika, raise your hand, is our director of Home on the West Side. And as part of our Home on the West Side program, if you have lived in the neighborhoods, if you are working in the neighborhoods or graduate from Booker T. Washington High School or one of the HBCUs, Morehouse, Belmont, Carolina, and I know I missed a couple, Morris Brown, thank you. If you work at one of them, you qualify for our Home on the West Side program. And what's really special about our program, because you can see those prices that are listed. But once you qualify for a mortgage to help close the gap, because we price our homes what it cost us to develop a home, the land cost and the development cost. So we're not making a quote profit. But we typically have down payment assistance that can be anywhere from $60,000 to $80,000 that's layered in between us and the city. So when you look at that home price, most homeowners are paying well below, 80 to 90 below that sales price. So I would really, really encourage you, if you're interested in a home on the West Side, the first thing we do, working with Tamika, is to qualify and see what kind of mortgage you qualify for, and then match you up with the product. Tamika and her team is amazing putting through the different layering of down payment assistance. And so we have quite a few homes for sale, and we have more coming online as well. So we'd love for you to help pass the word if you know of others that might be interested. And I think is that all our home for sales? Yeah. Thank you. And we have especially targeted the James P. Brawley corridor on English Avenue and around Katherine Johnson Park as well. The Pelicans were really working hard to bring all of our holdings online. So if you want to help us get the word out and get connected to social media, so there are all of our social media handles. So thank you. And next we want to move to our devotion. So I'm going to talk more about the devotion speaker in a moment, but we always begin our devotion with a devotional statement I'm going to read in just a moment. But for especially those that are new, we have grounded our devotion, in the lessons of Nehemiah. And so I'm going back to the Old Testament, the inspiration of Nehemiah coming back to Jerusalem, call back to, initially build a wall. But for me, it's much more about building a community on a set of values and the lessons of Nehemiah. And so we always ask for our devotion speaker just to draw inspiration from the lessons of Nehemiah as we think about the historic restoration of the West Side. But we always read this devotion statement as a grounding statement. It's become our tradition to begin our meetings with a positive, inspirational message from a member of our community, recognizing that many in our community are driven by their spiritual faith to participate in the West Side revitalization effort. The time at the beginning of our meeting is an opportunity to share various inspirational reflections. While the speakers may articulate their personal faith, it's meant to be inclusive, inspiring, and meaningful with the story of Nehemiah as our guide. And what I'm excited is our devotion, we're led by Rushan Evans, who's actually a Home on the West Side participant, so we're really excited about that. He is a proud New Orleans native. He has spent 15 years in higher education, serving at Xavier University and now at Spelman College. So back to our community retention guidelines, working at Spelman College. Beyond campus, he pours into young people as a volunteer football coach, modeling teamwork and discipline and perseverance. His journey reflects what we all work for every day: stable housing, thriving families, and pathways for the next generation. So we really appreciate him leading this devotion this morning. So please give him a warm welcome as we bring him up to lead us in our devotion. So please come.
Good morning. This morning's devotional is going to be Building with God, based on the book of Nehemiah. So I answered to them and said to them, the God of heaven himself will prosper us. Therefore we, his servants, will arise and build. The book of Nehemiah is a powerful story of restoration, leadership, and faith amid opposition. At its core, it is about rebuilding, not just a wall, but a people. When Nehemiah hears of the broken walls of Jerusalem, he was heartbroken. But he doesn't jump into action immediately. Instead, he fasts, weeps, and prays. This is our first lesson. God-centered rebuilding begins with prayer. Too often, when things fall apart in our lives, relationships, plans, dreams, we rush to fix them. But Nehemiah shows us the way of spiritual leadership. Take our burdens to God first. We have to take a step back and take it to God. Our second lesson: opposition doesn't mean that you're on the wrong path. Often it means you're on the right one. When Nehemiah steps into the work of rebuilding Jerusalem's walls, he faces intense opposition. Sanballat, Tobiah, they mock and they threaten him, trying to stop his work. Yet Nehemiah replies, the God of heaven gives us success. He does not rely on his own ability, but on God's power. Throughout the rebuilding process, Nehemiah constantly prays encourages, and leads the people. He organizes them by family, placing each at a section of a wall. He arms them with the tools in one arm and a weapon in the other. A picture of how we must build and battle in our own spiritual lives. The wall is completed in 52 days, a miracle of unity, leadership, and divine favor. But Nehemiah doesn't stop at physical reconstruction. He leads a spiritual revival, calling the people back to God's word. Ezra reads the law, the people repent, and the covenant is renewed. Our final lesson: true rebuilding involves both walls and worship. God is not interested in what we build, but in who we are, who we're becoming in the process. Finish this with a prayer. Lord, give us a heart like Nehemiah's, a heart that is burdened for what breaks yours. Help us bring our concerns to you first and trust in your strength. As we build what you've placed in our hands, help us stand firm against opposition and stay anchored in worship in your word. May our lives be a testimony of your faithfulness in the face of brokenness. Amen.
Well, that was awesome. Thank you. I especially appreciate the reminder as part of the lessons of Nehemiah. When you're trying to do the right thing, you can face opposition. And how you lean into, and actually was speaking to some folks the other day, about how to problem solving, was reminded, which is certainly one of the lessons of Nehemiah, the importance of prayer and to take it to God, in terms of your faith. So. Thank you again. Let's thank him one more time. We always appreciate community members. All right. So the next part is always we love this part because one of the things that really, for me, that's been so awesome about the Transform Westside Summit is by building community. And by building community, you need to get to know one another. Often reflected, it's hard to love thy neighbor if you don't know thy neighbor. And so building that community through these self-introductions, so we always take the time to do. And for those that are new, what we want to do in the self-introductions is we're going to come with a mic, and when we ask you to hold the mic close to your mouth so that it can pick you up, and we'd love for you to say, I'm going to do a practice run. I'm John Ahmann. I live in Vine City. I work for the Westside Future Fund. I'm John. I work for the Westside Future Fund. We have an event coming up in 2 weeks that I want to tell you all more. We love to get the word out, and we want to help you do that. The only thing we're just sensitive to with the intros is making sure we can kind of move through so we have time for the rest of our program. So, and if you would stand up while you do it, and I think we'll start. You ready to go? All right. Thank you.
Hey, good morning, everyone. My name is Rocky Hayes. I'm a real estate agent up in Sandy Springs. My wife and I actually just purchased a home on the West End on Chapel Road about 6 months ago. Love it. Absolutely love it. We're a part of the Mosley Park Community Association. It's something that it's not official or anything like that. It's just a couple of us neighbors have kind of gotten together and taken care of the community. But I'm really just here to meet people. Sorry, buddy, speeding it up. Nice to meet everyone.
Nice.
Come by with the podium on.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Leroy Wright. I'm the senior pastor of First Thessalonian Missionary Baptist Church. We're empowered by God to enhance the world and embrace all people.
I'll go right here. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Trina Hodges. I live right here in downtown, like around the corner, and I own Pepper's Hot Dogs.
I'll go right to you.
Good morning, good morning. I'm Allison Dozier. I serve as the Executive Director of the Berean Outreach Ministry Center. It's a nonprofit. We've been serving on the west side, Northwest Atlanta, for over 10 years. We lost our home in June, and we are now in negotiations. We were asked to stay on the west side because that's who we've been serving. Our impact report, we've served 18,761 homes in the last 12 months with food and support and resource services. We are now negotiating our new space, and we hope that we can get some support with moving in.
Hello, good morning, everyone. My name is Dr. Shelley Basin, and I am here to be supportive of everything that's transforming on the West Side. I've adored this area for the past 28 years that I've lived in Atlanta, and just want to see it continue to evolve.
Hi all, my name is Michael West. I'm here with my partners, Ethan Johnson, Jake Strange, and Emily Birmingham. We're newbies in the neighborhood. This is our first meeting that we've attended. We recently purchased the Family Dollar building in the Grove Park neighborhood at the intersection of Hollywood Road and Donald Lee Hollowell Parkway. We have big plans for the property and how it can serve the community. Aspirations for jobs and healthcare and food. And we're looking forward to learning more and meeting our neighbors.
All right, I'm Dallas Smith, proud member of the board, Westside Future Fund.
How you guys doing? Elijah Wanajanaku, founder of Eastside Golf. I also graduated from Morehouse College. I live in Brookhaven, but I am looking to move to the west side. So.
Thank you. So we appreciate learning. We're always learning together. So you've seen some examples, right, of what is moving more quickly. And again, we love what everyone has to say. We love it. Don't want that. We're just trying to move. You can see all the people we're trying to move through, and we're trying to get to this program. So that's the why, but just be mindful of that. I know this mic says, talk more. It says it to you, but don't, you know. Thank you.
Thanks, John. I just have a few remarks that Michael Lucas, I'm the executive director of the Atlanta Volunteer Lawyers Foundation, and our organization is proud that our home is on the west side.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Alejandra Mejia. I'm an interior designer with Chandler Architect and Design Firm.
Good morning. My name is Sandra Bush, and I live in the Booker T. Washington neighborhood.
I'm Scott Jones. I'm a builder, and I live in the Beltline neighborhood at Boulevard Heights in the southeast.
I'm Maria Supporta of Supporta Report and Atlanta Way 2.0.
Good morning. My name is Myrna Clayton. I am Executive Director for Showability. We support talented disabled artists across the disability spectrum.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Eric Smith, civil engineer by day and generational ties to the West Side.
Good morning, everyone. Dr. Anissa Farrow. I serve for District 3, Atlanta Commission on Women, as well as the NPU chair and a Washington High graduate.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Emmett Jordan. I'm a real estate agent, and I serve the in-town neighborhood.
Good morning, everyone. Jacqueline Pringle, broker, Homes by Pringle, here to learn more about Westside.
Good morning, my name is DeMarcus Davis. I'm the CEO of the South Fulton Institute, and I live in Summerhill.
Hi, I'm Kim Estes. I'm back in Atlanta, happy to be here. I'm a nonprofit exec and happy to figure out where I'm gonna live.
Good morning, my name is Anthony Bellows. I'm a legacy resident of the West Side. If anybody want to know anything about the West Side, ask me.
Good morning. My name is Gregory Madison, founder of Standing in All Publications, offering biblical solutions for addictions.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Camila Hellebuck. I am an architect at Gensler Atlanta office, and I am a new neighbor in the Mosley Park neighborhood.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Bangsia Kuchu, and I'm an architect and strategist at Gensler as well.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Joseph Campbell. Just moved down from New Jersey. Have been here for 1 month. Background in law and education. Just looking for opportunities to be a part of something and to contribute.
Hello, my name is Abigail, and I'm also from Jersey. Nice to meet all of y'all folks. I'm here because I definitely want to give back to the community. I love to serve, and any way possible, I am here with hands and feet.
Hello, I am Joanna Madison, and I am a resident of the West Side.
Good morning. I'm Kwame Uhuru of the Willie North Institute for Agriculture, Art, and Social Elevation, LLC. I'm a fifth-generation farmer, born and raised on the West Side, grew up in the West End, and working in the West End right now.
Happy Friday, everybody. I'm Tasha Ford. I'm a community engagement consultant for the tech industry and a proud alum of the illustrious Clark Atlanta University.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm Rochelle Gauthier. I live in Atlanta, and I'm a MarCom specialist.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Wendy Cooper. I'm a Atlanta replant after many years and looking forward to being a Westview resident.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Michael Chick. I'm a student at Georgia Tech, and I'm hoping to learn more about the West Side today.
Hey, good morning, everyone. I'm Rashawn Noble, Community Partnership Manager for Wellstar Health System.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Joy Hunter. I do external affairs for Wellstar, focusing on Atlanta and East Point, and I'm an Atlanta native.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Felicia Tucker, and I work for a nonprofit called Braven.
Good morning. Paul Duke, experienced staffing, a part of Randstad.
Bob Butler, co-op banker real estate.
Good morning, Carol Waddy, Chick-fil-A.
Good morning, Byron Amos, Atlanta City Council District 3. Welcome to the City Council District 3. If you're between Northside Drive and High Tower, ML King to 18th Street, there's a 90% chance I'm your council member.
And he's mine. Sean Watwood, proud Home on the West Side recipient and English Avenue resident.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Marsha Washington George. I am Vice President of the National Black Radio Hall of Fame, and we're opening a museum here in Atlanta.
Good morning. My name is Steve Phillips. I'm with Keller Williams. I'm a real estate broker, and I'm here to learn more about resources to expand affordable housing.
I'm Mindy Cow. I work for the City of Atlanta's Department of City Planning, focused specifically on the Mayor's Neighborhood Reinvestment Initiative.
Hi, my name is Kirsten Wilder, and I work for an organization called Reform Alliance.
Good morning. My name is Aisha Wyatt, and my daughter is a resident of the West Side. I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Ross Cathy, and I'm John's barber.
Good morning. My name is Steve Wilson. I am a Proctor Street resident in the shadow of Katherine Johnson Park.
Good morning, Alex Easterling. I'm the executive director for a youth sports mentoring organization called Athletes Mean Excellence. We serve kids on the West Side.
Good morning, I'm Floyd Hall. I'm an artist, curator, and cultural producer from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm also a co-founder of Canopy Atlanta, a journalism nonprofit, and also a Morehouse graduate, so happy homecoming.
Good morning, Erica Williams. I'm the owner of a social impact consulting firm, Alberio Group, and a resident of Southwest Atlanta on Cascade.
Good morning, I'm Archie Emerson. I'm the broker owner, Dedicated Realty Incorporated, and I'm also the broker agent for Westside Future Fund, and I've serviced this area for over 35 years. Thank you.
Good morning, I'm Leila Gill with NID Housing Counseling Agency.
Good morning, Juan Mendoza, business banker for Ameris Bank and president of the Old Fourth Ward Business Association.
Good morning, I'm Wynette Hammonds. I've originally worked at Neighborhood Union in the West Side area, and it's nice to see it improving and changing.
Hello there, my name is Solomon. I'm a filmmaker and I'm a resident of the West Side.
Good morning, I'm Debin Milligan with the Bobby Dodd Institute, and we serve people with differing abilities throughout this community and the entire state.
Good morning, my name is Troy Farina, West End resident, West Wind board member, and Bobby Dodd Institute.
Hi y'all, Joe Paolini, Bobby Dodd Institute.
Good morning, I'm Kashi Segal. I started a company called Rataza. We buy from local farms and we operate markets and food access programming on the west side and around Atlanta.
Good morning, my name is Ron Alston and I'm a banker with Truist Bank.
Good morning, John Cantrell, designer and strategist with this lovely crew at Gensler also.
Hey everyone, Eddie Lai with Portal Innovations. We're right next door at Science Square and we do labs for science and health startups.
Good morning, I'm Quasandria Curry, and I'm with Career Rise, and I supervise Westside Works.
Good morning, I'm Adriana Lawton. I'm a banker with Truist Bank and a board member of Career Rise.
Good morning, my name is Justin Liu. I'm a technical designer at Gensler.
Hello, Kristen Pitts, designer and architect with Gensler also.
Hi everybody, I'm managing director of Gensler. My name is Tori Wynn, an Atlanta native.
That's getting harder. I'm Erin Peterson, the founder of Scout Stories, and my job is to help tell the social good stories of the city of Atlanta.
Hey, Eddie LaRocco, I'm with her. I'm business development for Scout Stories and also a board member for Motherhood Beyond Bars.
Good morning, my name is Davita Huntley, affectionately known as Miss West End, and I'm the CEO and founder of the John Ahmann Fan Club. We're taking new members.
Good morning, my name is Ann Hill Bond, journalist and preservationist.
Good morning, Marvin Bussey, Teens at Work.
Morning, Sam Kanak. I'm a senior community engagement manager for the Atlanta Beltline.
Hey, good morning. I'm Nicole Love. I'm the director of corporate partnerships and individual giving with the Atlanta Beltline Partnership, and I live in Old Fourth Ward.
Hi, my name is Paula Jones, and I'm visiting my friend here in this lovely community. I love it. Here,
Hi, my name is Michaela James, and I'm hoping to be a potential resident of the West Side.
Good morning, Charles Merriweather, representing Goodwill, where we put people to work.
My name is Ron Rates. I'm looking for volunteer opportunities to work with young men, women, families, or small businesses that need financial counseling.
Good morning, I'm Daryl Ashur, and I'm a bunch of stuff.
Good morning, my name is Tyler Royal. I'm a Westside Highlands resident. I'm a commercial real estate broker specializing in nonprofits and faith-based organizations.
Dan Cathy with Chick-fil-A and Trilla Studios.
Good morning, I'm Patricia Lee with Re21 and Literacy to Success nonprofit, and we're behind the freereadingcheck.com.
Good morning, my name is Saul Ungoiba, and I'm a performance coach helping people create meaningful impact, and I'm a fan of a West Side Spirit as a spirit performance coach. Great crowd.
Good morning, Assad Majid in the family business of textiles.
Good morning, my name is Jalen Smith, born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm in real estate, really focused on project management right now.
Good morning, Dan Byers, McWhorter Realty Partners, Commercial Real Estate.
Good morning, my name is Matthew Coleman. I am I'm a lending executive with VI Capital Lending and a project manager with Vision Group RE Development, and I'm the committee chair for the Real Estate and Professional Service Committee of the Atlanta Black Chambers.
Hey everyone, how y'all doing? If this voice is familiar, it's because I was the voiceover for the ride for the West Side. I hope some of y'all went on that. Anyways, my name is Michael Cortez, proud graduate of Morehouse College and proud resident of the West Side. I'm also looking for any voiceover, moderating, and host opportunities. Come talk to me.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ahmann. I am an assistant professor of mathematics at Spelman College and an alumna of Spelman College.
Good morning. My name is Evelyn Newman. I'm Anissa's mom. I'm a former City of Atlanta employee, and I love Atlanta, and I love the West Side.
Good morning. My name is Bob Dickinson. I'm the founder and executive director of STEAM Sports Foundation and also a board member for Bridging the Gap Men's Fellowship.
Good morning. I'm Kathleen Bryant. I'm with Partners in Change. We train volunteers, like all of you, in life coaching skills and then pair you with a modest income adult who's pursuing new goals for 1 year of life coaching.
Hi, good morning, John. I'm Neil Shorthouse, also with Partners in Change, personal, social, and economic upward mobility for adults. Daryl.
Good morning, Michael Davis, Atlanta Beltline Partnership.
Good morning, Pam Storm, affordable housing provider in this fantastic neighborhood.
Good morning. My name is Shakori Walton. I lead a nonprofit called Plant, Build, and Restore. We host annual convenings on history, culture, and progress, and excited for our upcoming Atlanta convening.
Hello, I'm Beth Chandler. By day, I'm the Chief Legal Officer at Rollins, Inc., but I have the honor of serving as the chair of the board of the Atlanta Beltline Partnership.
Good morning, Clyde Higgs with the Atlanta Beltline.
Morning, David Barton, Atlanta Beltline Partnership.
All right, we can all bring a big I appreciate that. I know we wanted to keep it moving, so thank you for that. And I think, for me, I'm always reminded why taking the time to do these self-introductions is so important, at least for my reflection, is one, we are all seen, right? And I think it's really important for everyone to feel seen. And if you're seen, then you're invited to participate. And we want everyone to participate. So that's why we want to do this, so everyone feels seen. And encourage participation and encourage that networking. So it would encourage folks, if you have different ideas for people you heard introducing, to kind of follow up on that. But thank you for doing that. It's a really special part of our Transform Westside Summits. And now I'm going to shift into our program, and we're really excited. I'm very grateful for the leadership of the Beltline, Clyde Higgs to be here in a second with Beltline Inc. So thank you, and the chair of the Beltline Partnership. Thank you, and I'm going to bring up Derrick. For me, it's been an amazing. I'm an Atlanta native, and I well remember when the Beltline was launched, and was at that time on a lead group called Atlanta Committee for Progress. Was very kind of involved in launching the Beltline, and when it first started, it was really, for those that have been around, it's like, what is this? What is this idea? What does this really mean? Many people thought when you talked about the Beltline, we're talking about 285, in terms of what it was. What is this thing, the circular TAD? And it was really, but when it happened, I remember Shirley Franklin, I asked Shirley Franklin, I said, why? Because she really put a lot of political capital into it and getting it launched. Why did you do that? Why did you pick that? And she said, I wanted to pick something that would drive the destiny of the city of Atlanta for the next 50 years and shape the city. And it was exactly right. There's the opportunity, and they're going to talk through some of the challenges, but you think about what has meant to our city. It's been really amazing to see. And so I'm really looking forward to the conversation. I wanted our moderator, Derrick Jordan. And Derrick's, I first met Derrick. He was initially on our board of the Westside Future Fund. He was a Vine City resident, and now he is a Washington Park resident. He has 2 young children. And as we got into more real estate work, he then shifted off our board and oversees our multifamily portfolio build out. But I thought, Derrick has been living in the neighborhoods well over, I think, 17 years. And so Derrick lived just down the street from Washington Park, which is just now fully connected into the West Side Trail. So I really thought Derrick's perspective would be great for this moderation this morning. So please welcome Derrick to come on up. He'll bring up the rest of our panelists.
Yeah, there we go. Well, good morning, everyone. Morning. Oh, I want to take a little privilege. I always do this when he makes a mistake and allow me to get up here. My mentor of 20 years, Evelyn Newman, is here with her daughter, grandson. So I just want to say a shout out to you. Thanks for getting up this morning. So I know we're on the time crunch, so I'm going to get right into the questions. Like, one of the first things when I hear Beltline, I hear Beltline Inc., I hear Beltline Partnership, I really don't know the difference between these two. Can you all kind of give us some insight on what your organizations do, separately or together? Like, how should we be looking at Atlanta Beltline?
Yeah, I can start with that. But first, if you will allow me just a moment of personal privilege here, because I've been very reflective. I've been in my role for 10 years at the Beltline now. But I definitely want to acknowledge Beth and John, because there were some folks involved in the Beltline from the early days. Now, we look at the Beltline as this amazing project, but it was tough in the beginning. So could you all do me a favor and give Beth and John just a round of applause for their work? And just real quick, just to get to your question, so Atlanta Beltline Inc., we are the official implementation agent for the Atlanta Beltline. We have a team of about 70 people, architects, real estate professionals, housing professionals, legal, finance. We just passed our latest budget, which was almost $250 million. Yeah. And all of those dollars are used to advance what we describe, what you physically see as the Atlanta Beltline.
So thank you. A little personal privilege also. Clyde chaired the event last night honoring Tommy Holder, the Council for Quality Growth. So appreciate your leadership there too. He's been an amazing addition to our city. I remember the day he joined.
Yes.
And I want to shout out to the Atlanta Beltline Partnership folks who are here, Nicole, Michael, David. I hope I haven't missed anyone. So thanks. It's great to be here. I love this event. I come as often as I can. But yes, our responsibility is really threefold. We advocate for the Beltline, so we are out in your face talking about all the great things. We have great programs, free fitness, races that you'll hear more about, and then we do a lot of fundraising. So we have a capital campaign underway now and a lot of philanthropic connections and business connections to try to raise private funds. So that's really our responsibility, Derrick.
Yeah, but for community, you all shouldn't have to think about, church and state there. If you have a connection point into the Beltline, use that. It will ultimately get to the right people. We're really one umbrella at the end of the day.
Yeah, and I should mention Rob Bronner's out of town, or he would be here and be doing a much better job than me. So bear with me, but he and Clyde work seamlessly together.
Okay, great. So recently, you all opened up the West Side Trail right by my house, right by Washington Park. It's well attended. Yeah. And I've been able to get on that trail, at least once or twice a week. What does this trail, the West Side segment, does it have implications for jobs or things in the workforce?
Yeah, that's probably the great superpower for the Atlanta Beltline. I think oftentimes people think about us as this trail that you walk on, and sure, it's that, but it really is supposed to be an economic development engine for the city of Atlanta. Got a quick poll real quick. Who's been to the High Line in New York City before? Any? Wow, lots of folks. Wow. I'm a little bit jealous, here, but that's fine. But let me just give you a little story that I learned from the founder of the New York High Line, Robbie Hammond. Robbie Hammond and I are friends, know him well. And what he said about the High Line is that the High Line ultimately failed. Ultimately failed. And we've all been to the High Line. It's great, right? I mean, you walk on it, you enjoy, you see lots of joy on people's faces. And now, did Robbie really mean that they were a failure? No, he really didn't mean that. But what he was trying to say is that they missed an opportunity to really have strong community impact. It's great for tourists. They get millions of visitors every year. But what about the spillover effect to those communities that the High Line touches? And that's what he really meant, is that we missed the opportunity to think about housing affordability, commercial impact, all the things that you think about community building, they miss that. And sure, it's a great amenity, but they miss the other pieces. And that's the one thing that I want people to understand about the Atlanta Beltline. And I have to give the credit to the visionaries behind the project, is that they really thought about the spillover opportunities. We didn't always get it right in the beginning, for sure, but that was a part of the vision, to think about housing affordability, to think about commercial affordability, future transit, job creation. There have been over 60,000 jobs created along the Beltline to date. People don't really think about it that way. Over $9 billion of private investment that's followed the Beltline, which is impactful. We've put about $800 million into the Beltline to date, which sounds like a big number. But when you think about $9 billion on top of $800 million, it's a 10, 11 to 1 return on investment. You don't get that in public investment out there. So that's one of the things that I think is one of our great superpowers, and we want to definitely see that type of impact on the West Side, but doing it in the right way.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Can I add one thing to Clyde's wonderful comments? We're a destination too now. You know, my company does business all over the world, and, you know, I love being on a call with someone. Oh, you live in Atlanta. That's where they have that Beltline. I mean, this person's in Chicago or Singapore, and they know about it. So, you know, you come to Atlanta, and you want to see what this is all about. So that's also, I mean, the High Line is certainly a destination, but like Clyde said, didn't miss that opportunity. But we're now on the back end of being a tourist destination.
Yeah, that's interesting. And to Beth's point, we enjoy about 2.5 million visits, trips along the Beltline on an annual basis. The interesting piece is that almost 15% of our traffic is coming from the airport. Right. So to Beth's point about a destination, that's really interesting. And you're probably asking, like, how do you track that? So we have a company called Placer AI, and so we can see origins and destinations with regards to pinging cell phones, and it's really interesting to see that type of traffic, you know, coming into the Beltline. And then also from a demographics perspective, and I'm sure you've all been on the Beltline, it looks very much like Atlanta. You know, racially, from an age perspective, income perspective, it is a cross-section of the city.
Okay. So in particular for the West Side, and what the West Side Trail looks like, we talk about, and I've seen park expansion. I think y'all have at least one park. Can you all speak to that expansion, the programming there? Will there be things for youth? How are you all rolling that park expansion out on the West Side Trail?
I have to pull my notes because there's so much I have to read it all. So obviously we have the Run Club, you know, the West Side races that are on the West Side. And you can find all this on beltline.org, obviously. But there's going to be so much activity at Shirley Clark Franklin Park that I think we should just start calling it the Shirley. You know, free fitness programs, all kinds of bike programs. I don't really even know what all these are. But progressive jump lines. Do y'all know about that with bikes? Technical skills courses, dedicated hiking trails, overlook and start area. And we have a fundraising effort underway now for the biking trails, and we've raised over $9 million of our $15 million goal. So there's more to come at that park. And then there's Anothy Park, and then there's a lot of activity. The Lantern Parade, unfortunately, got rained out this year, but there's a tremendous activities along the west side. I'm sure I've missed some. Clyde will help.
No, I mean, you touched on it, Beth, and that is the goal. So the Beltline, although we talk about it in terms as infrastructure, but it really is about people at the end of the day. One of the things that we're also proud of is hosting what we call Big Tigger's Bike Fest on the Beltline. That is on the west side, and what we do is we give, with the support of Big Tigger and our partners who write the checks, but 250 free bicycles to young folks on the west side that go to an APS institution, and we also teach them how to ride a bike, how to repair it, maintenance, and so again, this goes beyond just that physical trail. Or like how the New York Times likes to call us, a glorified sidewalk. And so again, it's really about having impact for community.
Well, it's interesting that they think it's a glorified sidewalk, because here on the west side, people really have concerns about housing displacement.
Yeah.
And that's not what a sidewalk does.
Right.
The reports show that you all have done about 75% of the 5,600 affordable units. What does that look like on the west side? Like, what does that rollout of affordability look like?
Yeah, and that's one of the, and Beth, feel free to chime in here, but that's one of the things that I think, again, the visionaries behind the Beltline got right, is to even have an affordable housing goal. So if you think about the entire city, who really has put, now this current mayor, who really is the affordable housing mayor from my perspective, put a goal out there. But in the early days, no one really had a goal to say that we're going to do X amount of affordable housing units. And so for us, that goal is 5,600 units of affordable housing across the entire spectrum. Now, by the end of 2030, we think we're going to beat that goal. I think we're going to be about 30% ahead of that goal. Will be around 7,200 units. And that's from 30% of area median income all the way to 80% of area median income. But our superpower for Beltline Inc. is that we are buying up lots of land around the Beltline. So we own almost 100 acres of additional land that we will use for housing affordability in the future. And without getting wonky about this, when you control the land, Dallas, you know this, when you control the dirt, you can exact very deep housing affordability. That's how we were able to do Madison Reynoldstown, because we owned it. That's how we got to that 30% of area median income number. But if you think about our portfolio right now, most of our affordable units on the way are on the south and west parts of town. We have become a lot more sophisticated over the years, and I'm just going to be honest, no one expected the Beltline to be a wild juggernaut of an economic success. And it really got ahead of us, to be quite frank. And so when you think about 2014, 2015, who was the poster child for why Atlanta was so unaffordable? Beltline. Now, was that fair? We can debate all of that, because Atlanta is just an amazing place to be. Our universities, we have the world's busiest airport, the number of corporate, 500 entities that are here. It's just so many good things foundationally about Atlanta. And so we've become much more sophisticated in that realm, but we still have a lot of work to do.
Yeah, the only thing I would add to that is when we started this, it was amazing to me how underparked we were. Atlanta was underparked as a city, and that was hurting us in attracting business and industry. So that's another, we talk about the parks, obviously, but that was that vision to really attract people with green space. Do you want to talk about the legacy retention program?
I definitely want to talk about legacy retention. That was actually the next question up. Because the Westside Future Fund has a legacy resident program. that has allowed a lot of our residents to not worry about the displacement.
Absolutely.
Just wondering if you all have a similar program for Westside residents as well, or along the Beltline as well, that kind of ensures that they can stay in their neighborhoods that they've always lived in.
Absolutely, and that is one of our key fundraising initiatives in our capital campaign. Anothy Park, here, in this neighborhood, and the bike trails I mentioned earlier, and the legacy retention program. So far we have to get my 270 homeowners enrolled, 10.8 million in increased wealth for the legacy retention program participants. John gave your stats earlier, and participants who've been in the program for at least a year have received $2,200 in property tax assistance. So again, that's a very fundamental part of what we're trying to do and a priority in our capital campaign.
Indeed, and not only has Beltline mimicked what Westside Future Fund has done, but also now the City of Atlanta and Invest Atlanta has also taken on the realm of a legacy resident retention fund. And we think about this, it's just not spiritually the right thing to do, because it is, but it's also a business decision, to be very clear. So if you think about Atlanta's competitive advantage, it is who we are. It's our culture, it's our diversity. When you see all of these mega companies deciding to locate in Atlanta, they're not coming here for our beaches, right? They're coming here because of the folks, the diversity that we have in this room. And so when we talk about making sure that our legacy is protected spiritually, it's the right thing to do. From a business perspective, it's the right thing to do. This is, you can't mimic Atlanta anywhere else in the country. And so if we don't protect that, we're Austin, Texas, basically.
Boy, you're getting pointed today.
Hey, if nothing else, I am very transparent, sometimes to a fault.
And this is that missed opportunity you talked about with the High Line.
It is. And so that's very important to us. We use lots of euphemisms when we talk about, this culture piece, but I'm telling you, we all have to protect this. We have a patent on this culture thing. And so if we water it down, we don't protect it, we're just like any other city out there.
Okay. And from an employment standpoint, do you all have opportunities for maybe Westside businesses, any kind of new programs that can help small businesses or current person seeking employment on the Westside?
Yes, for sure. And so we have a whole team at the Beltline that focuses on supporting small businesses. One of our largest departments in Beltline now is economic development. This is headed up by Kelvin Collins, and their role is to be supportive of small businesses, and through grants, facade improvement, and then we also just launched another program for our developers. And so developers, property owners can actually apply and receive up to $500,000 to make sure that legacy businesses have opportunities to vend, to do business on the Atlanta Beltline.
Did you say 500,000?
I said 500K.
We got this. We were recording
this. Yes. Okay. Let me say it again.
500.
Up to $500,000 for our property owners, developers. It's in the same mindset of housing affordability. And so now take that same mindset and push it to the commercial side. So let's say, someone's charging $50 a square foot for space along the Beltline. This program will help that developer to essentially underwrite and then discount that $50 to say $15 a square foot. Now I'm just using just some random math there, but that's the goal. Because again, we want to make sure our legacy businesses, Eastside Golf, other folks can really take advantage of this largesse that we describe as the Atlanta Beltline.
Okay. And this question's for you, Beth, if you know. How do community residents or the community at large get to participate in the involvement of designing projects or being a part of the process as Beltline unfolds or rolls out new projects? Is there like community engagement and
There's
things of that
tons
nature?
of community engagement and meetings. Again, I kind of point you to the beltline.org. I don't know if we have any materials here, and this again is, I think, one of our superpowers, because when we launched the Beltline back in, early 2000s, we worked with every neighborhood. I remember the first neighborhood was over right off Collier Road, and there was a big issue about whether there was going to be a dog park or not. And there were neighborhood meetings after neighborhood meetings about, is there a dog park or not? So we get into the neighborhood. You can't please everyone with every amenity they want. You can't solve every flooding problem or every other challenge that may impact the neighborhoods. But we do a pretty darn good job through our community engagement. And I would put out there that it's a model for other organizations around the country to make sure the neighbors feel heard, because we're going into their backyards, literally sometimes their backyard.
Indeed. So I got one last question. We'll open up for question and answer from, if you could wave a wand, if you had a wish list, what would it be? Like, what would be the ask from philanthropic dollars or just in general? What would be the ask, if any?
Yeah, that's so many.
Just pick one or two.
So I'll tell you, one of our challenges right now, amongst a few, is that. So yeah, you heard me talk about our budget is $250 million, but it's very restricted. I can only spend my dollars on capital projects. Those are rules of the tax allocation district. Yeah. We really need to start thinking about some type of maintenance fund. That's one of those things right now. People don't talk about this a lot. It's not sexy. Councilmember Amos, you can't cut a ribbon for maintenance, right? And so that's the big piece. We're building this beautiful infrastructure, but if we don't have a system in place to make sure that it is maintained at the highest level, in the next 5 years, it's going to be something that we're embarrassed about. And this is not, pointing blame on anyone. I'm just trying to tell you, what's coming down the pike. We need to figure out this maintenance piece, because every time we deliver a new section of Beltline, that is more needs coming out of the city, more needs for maintenance, because we only have a 1 year, 1.5 year maintenance program or warranty every time we deliver a new segment of Beltline. After that, then it becomes the responsibility of the city, and then the city has to think about the entire city, not just the Beltline. So again, if we could wave a magic wand, having $30 million out there specifically for maintenance would be game changing, and that's just one example of something that's coming out there.
Okay, that's a fair ask too. That's a fair ask for the impact that the Beltline has had on Atlanta.
Right.
It's important that we protect it.
Right. You want the grass to be mowed. You want it to be clean. You want the lights to work. Yeah. You want it to be protected. So that's exactly right.
Yep.
But what we would like to do is open the floor for questions. We're going to get some microphones.
We got time for a couple of questions. I see John bring over a mic. 1, 2. All right. Thank you.
Okay, so I was ready to hear about displacement, and that's something we don't talk about a lot because it's not very pretty. But my question, I formulated a bunch of questions, but I'm going to narrow it down to this one question. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, and up there they have different sites for homeless people. So has there been any discussion with the Beltline of perhaps having sites for people throughout the Beltline where they can find lodging, temporary lodging?
Yeah, so we think about housing in all forms for sure. One of the projects that we help to deliver is on the east side, and it's called the Ralph David House. And so this is about 56 units, I believe, and is specifically for individuals that have previously experienced homelessness. And so they get all the services that they need on this site. But that's one example in how the Beltline, in partnership with the city, Partners for Home, Atlanta Housing, Invest Atlanta, to really exact that. And so we continue to think about that, not just on the homeless side, but we're also thinking about a for sale product along the Beltline as well. Because all those units that I talked about, that we're almost 80% to our goal, most of those are rental. And so we need to think about ways, again, how to drive wealth in our communities. And so making sure that you have a place where you can actually buy, you can own on the Beltline is going to be a part of our strategy.
And the Veterans Empowerment Organization is right here. I don't know if you know about that, but that's right in the West Side.
Good morning, Dr. Nero Wright. I had the opportunity last month to explore the Beltline, about 13 miles. My tour guide, W. Allen Bell, knew a lot about it, and he told me history. What I was amazed at was the fact that I think you had Trees Atlanta doing the foliage and stuff and the lighting. I thought that you were going to be in a lot of secluded areas that were potentially criminal areas, but to my amazement, I found that you have pretty good lighting, it's pretty good security, a lot of people. And I noticed that on the west side in particular, there were some areas that were blighted, but they're being revitalized because they're so close to the Beltline. Now, my question to you is, how can we increase investments in the west side along the Beltline that looks like Fourth Ward on the other side of town?
Well, can I ask you to pray for our park maintenance fund too at your church?
Oh yeah, we will, because one of the things that Bell showed me was one of our Congress, I think it was Pilgrim Travelers Church in Mosley and Martin Luther King. Okay, they were complaining that the city was on them about can you get the grass, but they said that's belong to the Beltline. But now that you are taking care of maintenance, there's no complaint. In fact, I was told by Bell that the church itself is a potential gold mine because it's so close to the Beltline.
I mean, the Beltline's like beachfront property. You know, you have businesses locating there, housing, just, you know, like a lot of the things we talked about. From our perspective, we're very focused. Again, Anothy Park, Shirley Clark Franklin Park, the Legacy Resident Retention Program are our three priorities for fundraising and development on the partnership side.
Yeah, and I would say for us, we're tracking about $2.5 billion of announced investment coming on the west side. So it's coming, but we've learned so much from the east side. We want to make sure that there's that appropriate balance between new investment to make sure that residents that have been in those communities for a long time can thrive and take advantage of that. I mean, that's where the work is at the end of the day. And then I appreciate you also bringing up the maintenance and the lights and cameras. That is a highlight of the entire Beltline. You will have lights and cameras roughly every 90 feet on the Beltline Trail. And it is, knock on wood, one of the safest places to be within the city. But what causes that also is eyes on the prize. And when you have lots of people walking, enjoying the Beltline, that's why you will see pop-up opportunities coming from Beltline. The Lantern Parade is on the west side because we want, again, eyes on the prize. You have less of a chance of something unfortunate happening when there are a lot of people out. And so you'll see more of that type of activity. We own significant holdings with regards to land on the west side. So you're going to see more announcements about, from Murphy Crossing to Chapel Road, just a number of things that we own that we're going to find a development partner to help us activate that, bring more residents to the community, help revitalize existing community. So a lot of work to be done for sure. So thank you for your point. Yep.
And we want to thank all of y'all for that awesome panel. You really landed with a great last question. And back to your point, growing up on the east side over in Druid Hills, seeing how what happened on the east side, y'all's earlier point, it was not forecast, it was It reminds me, you don't really understand a tsunami till you see it move through.
Yeah.
And how fast all that moved through. Compliments to Clyde and Beth and all the leadership of learning from that, because the key, and they really are doing it, is to buy a lot of land along the Beltline. So really compliments to Beltline Inc. for what y'all have done, and the Beltline Tax Relief Program and other anti-displacement. So that lessons from that, y'all have really applied from that to your question. And so let's give them a big round of applause and thank Derrick for doing. And as they're coming down, Mariel from our development team is going to come on up. We want to end on an opportunity to thank you for moving through those introductions. We want to thank you for that. And we're going to do a drawing. We have gift cards from the Home Depot and Goodwill of North Georgia. And so Mariel's going to call out a number. And if you have that number, you're a lucky winner.
Okay, can you guys hear me okay? No, that's loud as I get. I think I need a mic.
The mic is coming.
Okay. Okay, 314-0599.
All right.
Okay, 419193. No? 419170. Okay. 419167.
All right. All right. Well, we really appreciate everyone. We'll be back the third Friday in November, and our guest will be Eloisa from Invest Atlanta. Thank you for being here. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, sir.
Yeah, thank you.